So we are back. This is When There's a Will, There's a Way, part two. You are listening to the Urban Conservative. I brought some friends along with me today.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
John Tell Toland, who is executive producer,
What's up? What's up?
owner, founder of the Leon Black Independent Media, also a great artist, Circumstantial Saint. Uh, I have May Keller, who is independent journalist, also the host of Freedom for All, and is part of the Leon Independent Media. Uh, and as well, we have Don't Play with Me, the Ghost, who is a ghost. And don't play with them because you know what I'm saying. So I'm glad to have family and friends on today. To get in this conversation
I'm
because
dying. I'm about to be a fucking ghost.
right, you know how we do it.
Hey, it's the best
Wow.
way.
Yes.
Thank you
Always,
for having me, Chaz.
Yes.
always.
So let's go
So
right
we're
back
gonna
and get
get right back into to Minister Farrakhan.
Black man, you are looking at God. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad wanted to give us that kind of knowledge. And he made us to stop using the term nigger and call each other brother, call each other sister, and learn to love for your brother what you love for yourself. And there are many Black people in America and around the world that are digging at the knowledge of self. Many in America digging at the knowledge of self and sharing what they know. So Kyrie saw the movie and he wanted to share it with those that follow him. You know how we've been. You find a reefer and it's good to you, you call your friends and you share your reefer. They're not mad with that. Yo, dog, come on, let's smoke this blunt.
Yo.
You don't say nothing about that.
Talk about it.
Talk about it. Yo. Spot the fuck on. For real, yep, for real. Shut up and help. Because right then and there, we were just talking about it before with the way that we speak to one another. And this is where we left off. The way that we speak to one another, if we're degrading one another, and our quote unquote leaders, i.e., the puppets of them, the slaves of them, i.e., the entertainers, are so-called our leaders. If they're telling us to hate one another and to have beefs and battles and just do nothing but go out and drink and twerk and celebrate all the time when there's nothing to celebrate because we're doing nothing but degrading and not having any purpose and not living. Well, not everyone, but some people. And that's why as he's speaking, we're waking up. We're coming into ourselves. We're seeking knowledge. We're becoming conscious because we're realizing that we've been in a void and we want more. And as a group of people, we need to be connecting more because there are many of us that are coming together, but we need to keep doing more of it. And there needs to be more Kyries. There needs to be more Kanye's, preferably.
Jason Williams.
In my opinion, yeah.
We need to come out together and speak up because the truth is the truth. Education is education. And when we know better, we do better. And that's what all Kyrie is really trying to do is to educate people so that we do better. It doesn't mean that he's out here spreading hate. It's out there that he's spreading knowledge. He's spreading fruits. the seeds of knowledge, and people don't understand that.
Talk about it.
They want to call him anti-Semitic. How is that when we're educating ourselves? Talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it, not talk about it. Think about it.
Mm-hmm.
But we go with the masses, and they
When
look like asses.
Knowledge and want to share.
Yo, facts. Say that again. Say that again.
We go with the masses, and they look like asses.
Mm.
Knowledge, they're not talking against you.
Right.
They work to make you richer as you work to make them some money too.
Right.
Yep.
These people aren't anti-Semitic. Every one of them ain't never done nothing against you as a Jewish person.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
You don't do that. Not one of those do things to purposely harm a Jewish person.
Mm.
Then went to a movie. He saw something that taught him more about himself,
Right.
and he wanted to share it. You looked at his passing on what he thought was knowledge that would sink his roots back in the soil of himself and the God. And you felt threatened by that. Why owners of the Nets, why did you feel threatened? He didn't call you out by name.
Nope.
He just said he saw something and he put it up. You called it what?
Anti-Semitic.
Anti-Semitic trope. The movie is almost a little over 2 hours.
Right.
I'm sure there are things in there that you didn't like. But there are many things that you all have written about us that we don't
like. Talk about it.
Yep.
You have been the one making us hate who we are and hate our origin in the world.
Talk about it.
You're the one that made Tarzan and told us that that's part of us. You've done all of this to us. And we couldn't say nothing. You're the one that made a darky, a little black Sambo. And you made us to see that as who we are. Can't you see that we're tired of that? So because I and others of knowledge are spreading knowledge of God, knowledge of self, knowledge of the time, and also knowledge of an enemy. Because we couldn't be in a condition like this if we're all of you were our friends.
Ooh.
We have enemies.
Right.
And those enemies have dropped us down in the barrel of waste.
Yep.
We're not around here hating you.
Not like they hate us.
Tell the truth of what we know of what some of you have done to put us in the condition that we're in. Kyrie found something. I want you to say that you are sorry for saying something that is anti-Semitic. And he kept telling you, I can't be anti myself.
Right.
You didn't want to hear that.
Nope.
You know you came from us. You know that you are not the father of humanity. We know our history and we know yours. We don't like what you're doing to Kyrie or to Ye.
No, we don't.
And when we see how you want to break him, destroy him, to keep him from saying
Silent.
anything that might enlighten our
The
people.
masses.
Mhm.
So that they don't look like asses.
Nothing like that he can't play. I saw the man playing ball the other day and he missed every shot almost. He can't play with his mind in that state.
Mm.
And when his brother Kevin Durant said, I don't like none of this. He's not saying he don't like the movie. He's not liking what you're doing to a man who wasn't doing nothing against you, but searching for greater knowledge. And you decided to break him. You decided to put fear into men
Talk about it now.
like Charles Barkley
Mm.
and LeBron James and other black men who had become rich and powerful. You wanted to say, you were saying to them as you were lynching Kyrie, you all better get the point. You all better get the message.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want you rising up into that knowledge that will make you a real man and not a glorified punk.
Mm.
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 I'm saying to the ADL, sir, we know you. And we know that we know you, and you know that we know you. Don't talk to Kyrie by himself.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
He can go and look at the horror of the Holocaust. Why don't you come and look at the horror of what your parents have done to people in America and throughout the world? Why don't you come and study?
Hold up. Hold up. We gotta stop that right there. Because let's talk about that real quick. Why is it, and this is not the oppression Olympics, and I want to make that clear before I say this. Because I acknowledge and understand what Jewish people have went through. I do. Didn't that happen in another country?
Facts.
What happened to American history, acknowledging what we went through? What happened to our reparations? We just got a museum and a fucking memorial.
We just got our first black governor
Yeah.
Talk about it.
in Maryland. It's
I'm sorry, but an
2022.
MLK Jr. Boulevard in every hood doesn't make the cut for me. Period. I want tangibles. I don't want symbolism.
Yes.
So the thing is that they used to have Black history in our schools, but they got rid of them. What happened to bringing Black history back in, telling the facts about what we went through?
Mm-hmm.
And I've been fighting for Black history in our schools for a very long time because our children, regardless of what color they are, need to know all the history, just not part of the history.
Talk about it.
Right.
But they don't want us to. And when someone speaks out about it because they're trying to seek knowledge, it's shut up. We just want to entertain. They want the masses entertained and turn in their blind so they can turn a blind eye to what's going on around them. Period. Yeah.
So we refuse to go with the masses so we don't look like asses.
Right.
Like civilized human beings.
Can't be different.
Yeah, Ye is not a hater.
God forbid we're different.
No, right.
Ye is a lover. Kyrie is the same. But he wants to stand on a principle. And you see him standing, how intelligent he is, and the media keeps running at him with, why don't you say you apologize for this anti-Semitism? You did the same thing to me. I've tried to have meetings with you. Let's dialogue about this.
Mm.
You don't want to dialogue with me. You
No.
want to dialogue with somebody that you know you can put down because of the power you have over them by giving them a contract and money that you can take from them. If they
Talk
say
about
or do anything that you don't like. This is the day of judgment and justice. These men don't want to be against you. These men are grateful. You brought them out of college and high school and gave them a contract. You gave them a contract because you saw their talent. Haven't they made money for you all?
Don't mean shit.
So now you sign them up. And then Adidas comes by and Nike comes by and gives them a lot of money that they don't see. You have them on a leash.
You don't bite the end of it.
Whenever somebody like Kyrie or Ye rise up and you don't like it, you pull the chain. So we run out and dog our own brother because he did something for a principle. You will too. Life is bigger than paper with a white man's image on it.
Oh.
Life is bigger than his house.
He spoke
And
back.
a nice car. And a lot of bling bling. Life is bigger than an Oscar. Life is bigger than a belt. Life is bigger than something that says I am the best at what I do. I'm the most valuable player, or my team won.
Don't need no awards. Don't need those awards.
But as a people, we are losing. We cannot afford to lose any of you. You are our kith and our kin, our flesh and our blood. And so I wanted to say something to help us to come together rather than break apart. Because it's Ye and Kyrie today. But what they're doing to them is to make you, who are in the good graces of them, so you think. You see what we just did? Ye lost $2 billion in a few days. You might wonder, did he really have it? He lost that much that soon? You know when you signed a contract with him. I don't know what's in the contract, but you do. So evidently, Adidas and all the companies that Brother Kanye is signed to or was signed to until Mr. Ari Emanuel told everybody just drop him. Beloved brothers and sisters, look, your day is soon coming. I'm asking you stop beating each other up in the public.
Preach.
Stop doing that. But of course, that's what the master wants us to do. There's a slave here that's getting out of place, and
buck breaking.
teach him a lesson.
Listen.
What?
Wow. Wow.
Listen up.
I'm saying to you, don't do that.
Mm.
Call your brother. Come and sit down with us. Tell us about this movie. I understand that Brother Shaquille O'Neal put it up
And it's
in
there.
his theater. Go see it. You don't want to read Secret Relationship with Blacks and Jews that we financed, we researched. And you told me when we sat down. We had dinner together in the home of the Jewish rabbi. I went, others went. I brought some of my people. And there were two rabbis. There was Irv Kupcinet, great reporter for the Chicago Sun-Times. And after we had a beautiful dinner together, we looked like we were going to be on a page together where the controversy could stop. But the rabbi said to me, this is this love fest that is near the end of the dinner. But then he reached in his pocket and pulled out an envelope and said, but this is tough love. We want something from you. And they said, Minister, we have to watch you over a protracted time to make sure that you've changed. Then we had just put out the first volume of the secret relationship between Blacks and Jews. And you all told me, we want you to renounce this book.
Damn.
Because it's a great calumny against the Jewish people. You said that. You said to me, nobody that is deemed an enemy to the Jewish people is ever written of well in history. You know you control much of the publishing industry.
Yep.
So if you write the books, your people are heavily placed in the media. So when you all get ready to dog us out, you call those in that you pay.
Now let's stop that right there, because the double standards there. They
It
can
is
speak
there.
out because they've got all the media. They control all of the words that get spoken and how it gets spoken. So if someone speaks out against them, oh, you're wrong. But when we speak out against our atrocities or what is done to us, or just speaking for ourselves or thinking for ourselves, we get attacked in the same manner that they should be getting attacked, but they don't, because they control the modes of which information gets out. This is why independent media is so important. You know what I'm saying? Anybody got thoughts on that?
You spit it all right there. Like,
Yes, brother. And that's where we create. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Meg.
Oh, that's why we have to, uncreate these deserts that have been created.
Yes.
And yell it from the mountaintops.
Real quick, we were talking, and what was it, last night? And Chaz, we were talking about it with Meg a little bit, going over election results and looking at the map. And, I'm big with maps.
Right.
So we were looking at specifically Louisiana and the whole, them 60%, I think it was, vote 60% 700,000 motherfucking people voted to keep slavery as law in Louisiana. But then you look at Georgia, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama, the four most populous black and brown states in the country, the most poor as well, and the people that control them, the very few, in the hands of the very few, the white. Think about the narratives that get controlled. Think about how many people, like I was telling Meg, there might be one person that lives on his own property and he has acres and acres, and then the next person, mind you, they're all black. The next person might live a half mile to a mile down the road. Their town center might be 2-3 miles away. There's not many people in that county, in the very vicinity. They're all church-going folk, and that's where they get their information from. There is no news. There is no news around. The news that they may get might be from the next county over, and it might be white-dominated news. How are they getting out? What if there's corruption in their county, and the one white person that's mayor, and the one white person that's the city treasurer, and the one white person that's the county sheriff is investing money from the black folk, and they're poor and they're impoverished, and there's nothing that they know to do about it. There's still black folk that live on sharecropped lands of their ancestors, that live with the same ancestors of the people that enslaved them.
Talk about
it. Their descendants. Real shit. In these very four states that we're talking about. And we wonder why they're still voting to keep slavery in law.
Right. Because they make money off of it. That's why.
Make it make sense, for real.
Right. Because if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
Don't make sense. Same reason why we have the prison industrial complex. Same reason why we put the prison industrial complex facilities in rural areas, so that white poor people can make money and think that the people in black areas are nothing but criminals, gangbangers, and welfare queens.
Talk about it.
Because that's what they were taught to look at them
as. That's what they were taught to conquer and divide, smoke screen, and keep it wide. They want us to think different about each other. They want to keep the smoke screen and hierarchy of racism and classism up and well, to keep us divided, so that we can't see that we're all the same and going through the same motherfucking things. We are all oppressed and we are all slaves to this system.
Right? All got handcuffs on.
We all get buck broke at some point, but the issue here is black men get buck broke the most.
The most.
Right. And we all bleed the same.
I believe it's 1 1/4. At the first quarter of the year, who was it? Will Smith.
Right. For slapping another black man.
And that was staged.
Right.
And for standing up for his wife. It was definitely staged.
The whole thing was staged, and it broke people into further fragments to talk about a whole number of different issues, from domestic violence to bullying to demasculinization and everything in between.
Right.
It was ridiculous because it distracted people from what was going on. What happened? The so-called war on Ukraine. What happened then? A famine. And what is happening now? Inflation, a war coming, and famine unlike the world has ever known in our recent generations, in recent world history. And people are not ready for it. We ain't talking about it enough, because what are we talking about now? Yay.
Right. Kyrie. But we're not talking about the things that we need to change in our communities. We're not talking about helping Jaheim McMillan. We're not talking about helping Jackson, Mississippi. We're not talking about helping Flint, Michigan. We're not talking about reforming our police departments.
Yeah, we want to go cast a vote.
Right.
What are you doing?
Protect the coochie.
Right. Cast that vote and make it count. Go do something in your community. Be a vocal citizen. I don't care if you're sitting behind your computer screen and you're just messaging politicians. I don't care if you're sitting behind your computer screen and you're just watching on YouTube city council meetings. Right. Be informed at the very least, so that you can tell your brothers and sisters and comrades what is going on, so that they are informed as well. That is at the very least doing your part.
That's the most sickest part for me is because I go to a lot of meetings. I've been to meetings in St. Cloud. I've been to meetings in Minneapolis, Brooklyn Center, Red Wing, Rochester, all over Minnesota, and even other states. I virtually, you know what I'm saying? So it shocks me to see the crowds in there, because how are we supposed to get change if we don't know how to make change?
Facts.
That's one thing that I was listening to this podcast the other day, and the lady was speaking about change, because how are we supposed to make change if we don't know how change is made? If we don't know how, because that's one thing that I've even seen about going in Minneapolis to the meetings, is the simple fact of that people don't know legislation, they don't know ordinances, they don't know the difference between an elective body and a legislative body. We need to really inform and educate our people, because I've seen people, the souls to the polls, but I didn't see nothing about educating the voters.
Right.
It's cool to get people to register to vote, but if we're not educating them about how to vote, then we're not educating them at all, because all we're doing is getting to the masses to make them look like asses.
Talk about it.
Because if you're not educating, you're not doing nothing.
If you're urging people, go vote, okay, but why?
Right.
What is my vote actually doing? How does it make a difference? How does the Electoral College work? How does the Senate, how does the House work? What do those words even mean? Because people hear about it on the news all the time, but they don't actually know what those two different bodies mean. They don't know the three different branches of government, period.
Nope.
They know DC is the capital of the US. They can't even tell you where it is on a map.
Nope.
They
can't even tell you the difference between the Senate and the House.
Exactly. How can you expect even more people to vote in the body of the government if they don't know what it actually is doing?
Facts.
And how it's created to quote unquote make a difference.
Right, because you got to go to these committees, because that's how a bill is made. It just isn't. They don't just sit there and look at it. These bills are debated. These bills are argued on. These bills are voted on, and then they go to the Senate, the House. Then they go to the Senate. Then they go to the governor's desk, or even the president's desk, or the mayor's. But there's a whole process, and we have to learn that process. And that's one thing that the minister is really talking about, is educating. That's what they don't want us to do. They don't want us to know about city charters. They don't want us to know about history. They don't. Oh, I'm getting it started, sis. I'm getting it started, because we need to wake up. Because if we're not voting, it's more than just voting. We have to educate. We have to learn the process, because I'll tell you right now, there was so much fear mongering going on in Minnesota that it was crazy, because there was so many things that were going on, that words were being said that if people were educated would have understood that there was nothing that Governor Jensen, if he would have been the governor, that he could have made abortion illegal. It was a process. The same thing with even them freeing Kim Potter. There was a process. I didn't give a fuck about their words or what they were saying, because at the end of the day, I was educated and understood the statutes and the laws in Minnesota. Because if it was that easy to release Kim Potter, it should be that easy to release all these innocent black men in prison. So I'm tired of hearing that shit. Stop being fearmonger. That shit bothers me. Nobody wants to talk about that, but I've seen all these criminals that they want to, and I'm sorry that I just criminalize people, but I've seen all these brothers and sisters in prison that are out here fighting for prison rights, that people that are out here fighting for people that are locked up who are innocent. I want y'all to remember that, because the same thing they said about Kim Potter, freeing Kim Potter, because it was wrong, then Keith Ellison needs to do the same motherfucking thing. Walls needs to do the same thing. All they're missing is one person, the Supreme Court, the head, the one justice, because it takes three. Now, see, a lot of people don't understand that. So Jensen going up there saying that he was going to commute Kim Potter, he doesn't have the power to do that. The same thing with Schultz. It was a process. And if they had the right people in play, that's on us, the voters. That's on us, the voters. So stop being fearmonger. Stop listening to the masses and do your research, because the same shit they were out there saying that they could do with the SNAP, then they should be able to do for our loved ones. That's just facts. Because I don't see the same type of justice being done out here. Because I know plenty of families. Vanessa Jensen's family don't know shit about what happened to their daughter. Anaya Allen, LaDavion Garrett, Terrell Mays. So I don't want to hear no more about all these other fucking names. All of these promises are being made when they sit there and they can do the right thing right now because they just got the trifecta.
I don't want to say another motherfucking name.
Right? And we're going to take a real quick break and we will be right back. Because this is going to be longer than even a part 2.
Oh, yeah.
We're not going to continue this today. I really want to try to at least complete the video today. But I really want to get in to talk about this more because this what really matters to the community. And I want people to share this because I want this to reach the masses so they can stop looking like asses. And with that, we'll be right back.
I heal. I read tarot cards, and I'm pretty good at that. I do this amazing poetry that I want to bring. I want to develop this workshop and bring the inner child out in women. And I want to heal the world, one woman at a time. I really do. I want to build a sisterhood. I imagined today when I was in the shower that, oh my gosh, if I travel around the world to
said, you are a seed. The roots they planted were built to last. No fire, flood, or fury can make them pass. You have the power they want to ask. You have so much, that seed is up to the task. If you're sick and tired, just take a leap. You may just find the energy. If they tell you no, don't take a seat. I can't stress enough. You are a seed. They clip your vines, you grow some meat. They come with fire, you are the heat. She sent you fury, truth, knowledge, purpose, confidence, passion, freedom. Freedom. Open up your mind. You have your roots. Free yourself. Freedom. I like this. Do you have your boots? What does it mean to you? Do you have your boots? Do you have your boots? I like this. Get into the new. Solid ground, solid might. The Leon Block. Solid ground, solid might. Get your boots on the ground and fight. The Leon Block. Freedom. Freedom of press. Media. Journalists. Journalism. Words matter. The Leon Block. Unite the classes. All power to the people. The Leon Block. Get in line. to advertise your business to a diverse and conscious audience? Are you looking to give back to your community or have your voice heard? We are looking for you. The Leon Block. We want to provide people and small businesses with more traffic while connecting more people from all backgrounds, as well as integrating viewers more into what we do. Community is everything. Will you join us in help building a better life for us all? The Leon Block. The Leon Block Independent Media is a grassroots independent media platform by the people seeking to fill the gaps News Deserts have created.
Get in line, y'all. Get in line. I just want to read the quote that you have real quick. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. We must love each other and support each other. We have nothing to lose but our chains. If you're not careful, the newspapers will have you hating the people who are being oppressed and loving the people who are doing the oppressing.
Talk about it.
Anytime you beg another man to set you free, listen, you will never be free. Education is the path to the future. The tomorrow belongs to the people who prepare for it today. Usually, when people are sad, they don't do anything. They just cry over their condition. But when they get angry, they bring about change. And, that quote brings me to something. History repeats itself. History is factual. History shows you what to look to as a guide. And the guide of history shows that any change that came about, any revolution that was brought about was through violence, was through some kind of revolutionary event, some catalyst, some big event that the people took over. All those different events and movements that happen in Europe that we see all the time with massive amounts of people just crowding. What was the last one? Was it Sri Lanka? I think it was Sri Lanka that crowded and stormed the Capitol. They got them motherfuckers out. They was swimming in the pool, eating hot dogs and everything. Said, we got them motherfuckers out. This is our country.
Right.
Our country. We built this motherfucker. Our ancestors built this motherfucker. Woosah.
Right. This got me like, just hearing the minister got me like, it lit a fire under me, to be honest, man, because I'm going to use that fear mongering that the Democrats use to actually really make change, because they out here and they use that shit, but they don't do it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to show people that it is possible that when we know what we're doing, when we know the rules, the regulations, the statutes, the laws of why they're in place and why we need to get rid of some and why we need to change them, then we can finally get the change. But just going to the ballot is not going to do it. Going to vote every 2 to 4 years is not going to bring the change that we need. We need people to be informed. We need people to be educated. And I'm not talking about the education that these people talking about, political science degrees. I'm not talking about people that with doctorates, PhDs, whatever. I'm talking about people that are out here that are out speaking the truth. That you're not just following with the masses. Because that's what we need. We need trendsetters out here. And they shouldn't even have to be called trendsetters or even truth seekers for just simply spreading facts. So I want people to think about that while you're out here boycotting Kyrie or you're out here boycotting Kanye. I hope you're boycotting Nike, Adidas, these big companies, Amazon, Because who's Jay-Z about to go work with? The owner of Amazon, who's about to buy the Washington Commanders. Jeff Bezos. Yeah, people don't remember that shit. They act like this, it's just because it's Jay-Z. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. So it's okay that man's taking some money that he made from the documentary that y'all getting so mad on Kyrie about, that's about to go buy the Washington Commanders. But y'all get mad at me. Y'all get mad at Kyrie. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Y'all don't stand for something. Yeah, y'all stand for nothing. Because you fall in line with what the massa tells you to. Because if not, he'll shut down your organization. That's why I wanted some of these Republicans to get in. So we are going to continue this with another part. We're going to do a part 3.
You already know.
Probably tomorrow, to continue the video and to continue educating. So until next time, meditate through the pain, celebrate the ties that bond, liberate our people, educate our youth, so we can stop the bloodshed, be the change. Win or fail, freedom or jail, heaven or hell, wish me well.
I